First of all, I'm going to start by saying all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakaka Dash. Right, and second of all, I'm going to say all praise, double honor to the apostles at GreatMillStone. Now, here's a little thing for you, man. If you put in on the internet search Babylon on Thames, what you find out is that the MI6, MI5 building that's located in London City is you know, pretty much, if you put in Babylon in Thames, that's the name for the MI5 building. And it's interesting, mate, because, you know, we talk about the power structure of Esau, and then when you go into the Bible, you find out that these devils are patenting, you know, their whole society off Babylon. You know, the scriptures. Now I'm gonna go and hit a few scriptures on this, and as you can see, I mean, let's just have a look at it first. But that's the building here, and it's called Babylon on Thames, and pretty much when you go into it, I say they call it that because they modeled it after actual Babylonian architecture. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into a bit of this, and then I'm gonna go into the scriptures. It says the SIS building, or MI6 building at Vauxhall Cross houses the headquarters of the Secret Intelligence Services, the United Kingdom Foreign Intelligence Agency. It is located at 85 Albert Embankment in Vauxhall. You know, it says, I jumped down, the building has been the headquarters of the SIS since 1994. It's on the Thames River now. Some sources say it's MI5 building as well. I'd have to look more into that, but you know, and the difference between MI6 and MI5 is the MI6 deal with foreign matters. The MI5 deal with matters in the country. This is the secret services, so you can kind of the counterpart of that would be, what would that be? The either the FBI or the CIA, or one of them. You know, the secret services of the government of America. Okay, so but like I said, they've called it Babylon on Thames. So you're sitting there saying Esau ain't the devil, and this ain't the society of the devil, and the scriptures ain't true. Well, they know the scriptures to be true because they're calling their own buildings after biblical pagan places where they get their power from. And if you go deeper, you know, there's all types of videos we can do on Babylon and this society being akin. You know, Christmas, you know, that's a pagan Babylonian festival, which if you really look into it, it goes into Nimrod. But I'm not going to go into that right now. You know, he says the location of the headquarters was classified information through the Daily Telegraph, reported that it was London's worst kept secret, not only to every taxi driver, tourist guide, and KGB agent. You know. Anyway, so this is, you know, because Esau, and that goes into the secret council of the wicked. Okay, so let me, you know, you can read most of this yourself. I'm not going to read all of this about the SIS building, but I am going to talk about how they call this place Babylon on Thames. And like I said, all I did was, all you do is you Google Babylon on Thames, and then you get these articles that come up. MI5, MI6 Thameside headquarters could be moved into other government buildings in Whitehall. See, let me jump into the scriptures, man. Let me jump into the scriptures. this is let me start with let me start with Jeremiah the 50th chapter. Now what you gotta understand is that when you read the scriptures, Babylon is America. You know, the woman that sat on the whore is America, but the whole beast system is under this vibration and the spirit of Babylon. Okay, anyway, let me read Jeremiah 50:1. The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet, declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Medarach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. And America is the modern day Babylon. You know, when you go into the scriptures, man. For out of the north, they come up a nation against her, which shall make a land desolate, the Russians. Because the Russians now, they're going to come and nuke America, man. And none shall dwell therein. They shall depart both man and beast. Because the Lord's going to cause other nations to come against Babylon the Great, which is America. Now let me jump down. 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans. Be as the he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. They shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. The arrows shall be as of a mighty expert. None shall return in vain. So when you read Revelations, you find that there's a power structure. The beast, NATO, and America is like sitting on that beast, the whore, the Babylon the Great, which we'll get into that. And but there's nations, like basically our allies are going to come against them. Britain, you know, which America came out of Britain with the British, and these nations are going, and mainly Russia and China and the unions that are against them. They're going to be the main, and Iran. That's in the book of Ezekiel 38. They're going to be like the main people that are going to come against them, with other, like, all types of different nations. You know, Ethiopia, Libya. You know, different different nations that are going to come against America. And you see that now. You see what's going on with Putin, and we're always reporting these things through the YouTube. You know. Okay, it says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil there shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye have grown fat as the Epherat grass, and bellow as bulls. You know, because they built their kingdom off, you know, destroying Jacob and using the 12 tribes of Israel as slaves. It says, your mother shall be confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed. Okay, so Babylon, America came out of England. So even England is going to come against America. And the thing is that right now these nations they all got allies and all that. So whatever America does, England is backing them, and the NATO under these treaties that they got. So they're under the same spirit. You know, they're under that. This is the same kingdom, but the Lord's just going to divide the kingdom against itself. Okay. So let me go from there to Revelations 11. Just to show you that you got the cities, you got, you know, Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So when you read about Sodom and Egypt and Babylon, that great city in the scriptures, is talking about America. And Revelation 11:17 proves that as well. So I'm going to get that out after. And I'm gonna go back into the information, and I'll go back into the scriptures. It says, James Bond may be returning to our cinema screens next week, but his real-life counterparts could soon be on the move to a new London home, The Independent can reveal. Ministers in charge of squeezing savings out of the government's multi-billion-pound property portfolio are looking at the feasibility of moving the security services MI5 and MI6 out of their Thames side headquarters into other government buildings in Whitehall. Now, here's supposed to mention the Babylon and Thames thing. Okay, so Esau's in the spirit of Egypt, Babylon, pagan gods, because the same gods, a lot of the same gods, they got them here today under different names, you know. Give me a second. I'm trying to find if this article's gonna go into what that is called, because he said it on the thing. So let's see. Right. Say, why is MI6 headquarters secure and symbolic? The MI6 building is nicknamed Babylon on Thames because it resembles a ziggurat. So that's a Babylonian style building. Less flattering names include Legoland and the Vauxhall Trollop. So Esau's secret craft, he names these things after Babylonian witchcraft, man. Babylon in the scriptures, the Babylonian Empire was a kingdom of witchcraft. So let me go back into these scriptures, man. And they're just showing them all their own buildings getting destroyed in the movies. I mean, who does that? You know, that just shows you Esau's he's out of here. He's out of here, you know. He's going to get destroyed. Anyway, what was I going to get next? I was going to get Isaiah. So pretty much when you read the scriptures, you read about Babylon. Babylon is talking about America, but what I'm trying to, you know, just so, you know, people don't say I'm saying, oh, Babylon is London. No, I never said that. But it's in the spirit. The word Babylon, Babel, means confusion. You know. And they trust in the same witchcraft. This is Isaiah 47. And this is talking about America as well. You know. Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth. So this whole kingdom is based upon witchcraft. That's why they named that building, nicknamed it Babylon and Thames, and they built it in the style of Babylonian architecture. Why would you do that? If you know what I mean? I'm telling you, man, the scriptures, Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. I mean, why would you do that? Why else would you do that? Okay. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Because America, you know, they believe in witchcraft, and you know, they've got all their like covens, their Masonic temples, and you know, you got statues of Albert Pike in America and all that. You know, they got a lot of the holy days of America of witchcraft, like Halloween, you know, so-called Christmas, Easter, and all that. It's all paganism, and you know, they got top witches. See, this might sound like fairy tales to some of you people, but this is really what's going on. I mean, just look at Hollywood. Look at the musicians, what they use to cast spells on people. Just type in some of that. I mean, this is for the elect anyway, man. If you can't receive it, then I don't know what time I don't know where your head's been, mate. But those things are not going to stop them from getting destroyed by the missiles. You know, because Esau trusts in witchcraft and thinks that that's gonna be like he's gonna get power ultimate from that, but you're not, mate. Unfortunately, you're not. It says, "Behold, they shall be a stubble, and the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warn at, no fire to set before it." Because you know, Esau's done. There's gonna be no stopping of them nuclear missiles. Okay. Now, let me go to okay, Revelation 17. And there came out of the seven, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-coloured beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and the 7 heads and 10 horns, the beast with 10 horns is NATO, man. And the woman and the 7 heads is like the government kingdoms of Esau, the Greeks, Germania Minor, etc. And the woman on top of that is the last part, that last one that come out of all of this is America, because America's fairly new. So America's fairly new, pushing most of the policies of the beast, of the wicked. You know, America's the one sitting there with this, with that look. So, you know, all eyes are on America, and America is Babylon. America is going to be destroyed, mate. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colour, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of fornication. So America looks, New York, LA, this and that, DC, everybody going there. But the place is an abominable place. You know, where did women's live? Homosexuals, transgenders, all rights, all that come from out of that place. That place is Babylon the Great, mate. GMO foods, unprecedented GMO foods over there. It's got the worst GMO foods on the planet. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great Mother. Sorry, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the Mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So that proves that Babylon is America, man, because that's the woman that sat on the beast. So what, it's just a woman? Oh yeah, Revelation 17:18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. The great city Babylon, Revelation 18. So there you go. So for these nations anyway are going to turn against them, and the Lord is going to... Let me see if I can get a scripture, man. I think that might be Matthew 24. Good time to bring this out. Matthew 24 and 25. Actually, you know what? Let me go see. Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And that's what we've seen, man. We've seen this witchcraft, this wicked system, you know, being crumbled. You know, and they're gonna, and how is it they're gonna be? All the allies are coming to come against it. We're just reading that. There's many other scriptures, man. We just read it. You know, so there goes your America and all that. And them nukes are going to be traded. A lot of places are going to get burnt up, mate. You know. But America's just going to be... Man, the amount of people that are going to go against America, it's going to be ridiculous. But anyway, this is just proving that these devils trust in witchcraft. Because you wouldn't name it Babylon on Thames. You know what I mean? That's unrighteous. So that just shows you how these devils think. Like I said, these devils, man. These devils, man. They're top witches, top masons over in England, over there in America, and the UN and NATO and that. They're built upon the principles of witchcrafts, man. If you really go in and look into the MI5, the CIA, and the different things that they do, you will know that. And that's why this place is going to be destroyed, man. You're sitting there talking about, oh, this is the kingdom for you to make it. No, this is the kingdom of the devil. Hence why they're calling their secret buildings Babylon on Thames. I'm just trying to make that sink in for a bit, because you got these individuals, that you don't matter what you bring out, they're still going to scoff. They come on the comment boards scoffing. But you're going to pay for that. When this place gets destroyed, what do you think is going to happen to you? Because you worship the beast, mate. You worship the beast, and you worship the image of the beast. That's why you ain't got a problem with this. A lot of you out there, you worship the beast, you worship the system. Here, us brothers that woke up to this truth, man. Our whole thing is about serving the Lord, bro. That's why we grow our beards. That's why we keep the Sabbath days. That's why we keep the dietary law, because we're trying our best to keep this law, statutes, and commandments. Then you get these Christians that say, well, you don't even have to even try and keep a law. Love is the law. Well, they say the greatest commandment is love. Well, the scripture says that this is love, that you keep his commandments. No one said that you're going to keep it perfect, but it doesn't mean that you ain't got to. For example, if you murder someone, that's against the law. Where it's not just made up, it's part of the law, mate. That's where it was. That was what was written on them tablets, man. Some of you people, man, I just don't, but you know what? Anyway, I was gonna make this longer. I was gonna bring out another scripture, but maybe I might do a part 2. But I just wanted to bring that out, and I think I made the point. Because the Bible talks about the secret counsel of the wicked. And this is what they're involved in. They know what they're doing. That's why there's a Masonic temple out in DC. I think it's a Scottish Rite Freemason building. And they got Egyptian obelisks and sphinxes. Why would they do that? These kingdoms you read about in the Bible that the Lord destroyed, they're building up and resurrecting them statues. Okay. So, and I could have gone more into a lot of what the MI5 do and all that, but if I'm going to do that, I'll probably leave it to another video. MI5, MI6. But basically, they just push the policies of Satan across the world, man. Like a lot of these false flags, a lot of these, agents and corruption and all that sort of stuff. Kidnapping people that, not down with their policies and, all that sort of stuff, man. All that, your things are aligned with that. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom,